Mwai Kibaki was laid to rest today in Othaya. President Uhuru Kenyatta's term in office is coming to an end in August. And so far, there is no clear favorite to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta, especially from the larger Mount Kenya region. For those who follow the politics of this country, before the term of Mwai Kibaki came to an end, there were deliberate efforts by the mountain to make Uhuru Kenyatta the automatic successor to President Mwai Kibaki at that particular time. And I remember John Michuki making it very clear that anybody who wanted to talk to the mountain must go through Uhuru Kenyatta. By that time, Uhuru Kenyatta had contested for the presidency, but there were strong beliefs that the next president of the Republic of Kenya was not going to come from the larger Mount Kenya region. And I also remember that during that time, Martha Karua had actually emerged. But Martha Karua was sacrificed for Uhuru Kenyatta to emerge. But today, in the history of the larger Mount Kenya region, President Uhuru Kenyatta's term in office is coming to an end. But there is no favorite successor to the president in the larger Mount Kenya region. And the question which most Kenyans are asking is one, who is likely to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta as the next leader of the Kikuyu nation? Which begs the question, is it possible that President Uhuru Kenyatta has deliberately and strategically created power vacuum in the Kikuyu nation? In this video today, I want us to look at why I strongly believe President Uhuru Kenyatta is deliberate and is not keen on creating a successor to succeed him in the larger Mount Kenya region. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. I want to be as brief as possible. Do you think there is nobody in the larger Mount Kenya region who can succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta? Or is it possible that Uhuru Kenyatta doesn't want to be succeeded? He wants to succeed himself. Immediately, Uhuru Kenyatta began his second term. Several names started emerging from the larger Mount Kenya region as potential successors to President Uhuru Kenyatta. The name of Mwai Kibaki emerged very strongly at that particular time, because Mwai Kibaki had wanted to contest for the gubernatorial seat in Laikipia, but Uhuru Kenyatta prevailed upon him. So immediately they won the presidency. He was appointed to the cabinet, the Ministry of Agriculture. Most people thought that he was being groomed. Then at some point there was Moses Kuria. But of course, Moses Kuria, many people believed, was President Uhuru Kenyatta's Trojan horse in William Ruto's camp. But as things stand today, Moses Kuria cannot succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. Then at some point there was the name of Peter Munya and also the name of Peter Kenneth. But as we speak today, for example, Peter Kenneth has been subdued, politically speaking. As we speak today, it is not clear whether Peter Munya can actually inherit President Uhuru Kenyatta's shoe in the larger Mount Kenya region. Moses Kuria is now out of a question. Mwai Kibaki is also out of a question, which begs the question, why do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta decided not to be succeeded in the larger Mount Kenya region? In my view, the president is doing this strategically for the following reasons. Number one, it is his strategy to extend his stay in power. The truth is, President Uhuru Kenyatta is the leader of the larger Mount Kenya region and is not willing to allow someone else to take over that role so that he can still enjoy the power. Uhuru Kenyatta's term in office as the President of the Republic of Kenya is coming to an end. There is nothing he can do about it. There's nothing. His term in office is coming to an end. But his stay as the leader of the larger Mount Kenya region is not coming to an end. Just as Francis Atwoli once opined, Uhuru Kenyatta is still too young to retire. And that's the maxim Uhuru Kenyatta is applying. So how is this a strategy to extend his stay in power? Let us look at politics the way it is. Let's assume President Uhuru Kenyatta's term as the president comes to an end tomorrow. Then Raila Odinga is elected as the president of the Republic of Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta will have his political party called the Jubilee Party as the leader, with the elected members of parliament, senate, and the rest. And as the leader of that party, Uhuru Kenyatta will be calling the shots. So which means if Raila were to win, for example, they will share a bit of power. So Uhuru Kenyatta will determine who sits here, who sits there, and who sits there. Basically, Uhuru Kenyatta will still enjoy the trappings of power. Remember what Raila Odinga is enjoying today. Raila Odinga is enjoying power despite the fact that he's neither the president nor is the prime minister. So with a friendly president, Uhuru Kenyatta will still enjoy power. So he will extend his stay. So that we are going to have Mandela's moment, which is going to run for 5 years. Then that will come to an end. Then Uhuru Kenyatta will still have an opportunity now to dictate and determine who becomes the president in 2027. In my view, that's a good strategy of President Uhuru Kenyatta to extend his stay in power. And I was talking to someone and I was telling this guy that if someone were to emerge in the larger Mount Kenya region, Uhuru Kenyatta would be irrelevant because Raila would not be going for Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruto would not be trying so hard the way he tried until he failed to persuade Uhuru Kenyatta to support him. He would easily go to that particular person. So Uhuru Kenyatta has created a vacuum in the larger Mount Kenya region to an extent that there is no any other choice. That's number one. Number two, I also tend to think that Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on ending what we call tribal dominance in our politics. Tribal dominance means that we have the Kikuyu taking power, giving it to Kalenjin, Kalenjins giving it to Kikuyu, Kikuyu giving it to Kalenjin. And the only way he can ensure that is by taking charge of the Kikuyu nation himself, so that you don't create someone else. Today in this country, assuming someone had emerged in the larger Mount Kenya region, it would have meant that Uhuru Kenyatta would not be able to execute this mission of ending tribal dominance. You see, Uhuru is saying that power has stayed in the larger Mount Kenya region and Rift Valley for long. Now, that power should cross to either Nyanza or some other region. So he has identified Nyanza, for example. So if someone had emerged, do you think that person would be supporting Raila or Ruto, or do you think that person would actually be just on the ballot? Because there's a gamble. When you come from the larger Mount Kenya region and we have several serious candidates, it simply means that you can easily, in my view, outwit the president. So the truth is, without a serious candidate from the larger Mount Kenya region, Uhuru will still be the deciding factor. Number three, in my view, I think nobody actually emerged from the larger Mount Kenya region to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. Or maybe Uhuru Kenyatta was really disappointed by his allies. The truth of the matter is that if you look at Uhuru Kenyatta, probably he tried grooming 1 or 2, 3 guys. But these guys ended up disappointing him. And because these guys ended up disappointing him, none has actually emerged. I can ask you a simple question. Who do you think has really emerged as a potential successor to Uhuru Kenyatta from the larger Mount Kenya region? Nobody has really emerged. Those the president has tried ended up just being experiments, nothing much. So in my view, Uhuru Kenyatta might be disappointed that everybody around him, everybody around him never emerged. And number 4, in my view, I think William Ruto and his schemes for the mountain might have actually made Uhuru Kenyatta not to hand over power or not to groom someone to succeed him. Because the truth is, if Ruto had allowed the succession politics in the larger Mount Kenya region to take shape without influence, Uhuru Kenyatta would have allowed him. But you see, here was a situation where Uhuru was still the leader of that region. Then you emerge and take charge of that region. So which means Uhuru Kenyatta was left with no option but to try and defend his territory. And the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to defend his territory as we speak now means he's not willing to bring on someone. Even if he had to bring in somebody else, it means he will still be under that guy will still be operating under his shadows. So I think the mere fact that the deputy president decided after the handshake to go straight to the people, to go to the larger Mount Kenya region, take charge of the region, probably is what prompted Uhuru Kenyatta not to support someone else in that particular regard. And lastly, I think Uhuru Kenyatta is also keen on dealing with historical injustices. When I talk of historical injustices, is that Uhuru Kenyatta believes very strongly that the problems in this country originated from his father, Jaramogi. So the only way to sort out this is to balance that equation. Let the son of Jaramogi enjoy this time, which means in the larger Mount Kenya region, nobody was going to be allowed to emerge. Because if someone emerged from the larger Mount Kenya region, there was no way Uhuru was going to achieve this. Because of their numbers, anybody can pop up, run, and will end up with 3 million votes. And this is what Uhuru is trying by coming up with a strategy of dealing with historical injustices. I've always opined on this platform that one of President Uhuru Kenyatta's children or grandchildren will one time want to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya. If some of these issues are not resolved, they'll find it very rough. Uhuru Kenyatta actually found it very rough in the last 2 elections. And that's why after he won, he decided that the best is to have the handshake so that my children will never carry the burden of Kikuyus betraying Mzee Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.